Welcome back. Here we are already at the 10 of Wands. 10 of Staves, 10 of Batons, whatever name you go by. This is the element of fire and the culmination of this long journey through a rather intense suit. And I have quite a few cards on the table today, different ways of looking at the 10 of Wands. And I'll briefly discuss each of these, and then I will choose my top 5 10 of Wands. So thank you for being here. My name is Sadhana, and it's my pleasure to share these thoughts with you through this journey of 56 minor arcana cards. So welcome. Hello, Amelia. Namaste. Well, where to begin? I want to say one word, and that is perspective. Perspective is everything in this card. And, oh gosh, if you've been working with me, there's things that I feel like I repeat over and over. And as a yogi, there's also certain associations with this energy of fire. And one word that comes to mind is discipline, consistency, practice. So we need to keep coming back to something in order to experience its effects. We can't do something once, most of the time, and understand, feel its full potential. The Suit of Wands is about your great work. And I think I'll begin with Tarot of the She, this card here in the center. And maybe speak about this a little bit differently than Emily Carding does in the guidebook. There's some really interesting concepts going on here. There still is, you see the fire on the bottom. It's burning brightly. And I wonder, I've never thought about this before, but if these are the final people to cross the bridge, and then I will be released from this task. The key word on the card is the great task. I think the Suit of Wands is about the great work of your life. And why might this task be? To hold others up, to carry something on behalf of another. I think we really need to be careful with this archetype, because it can spill over into excessive caretaking rather than a focus on, what is my purpose and how am I growing through all of this. It's an extraordinary thought, because sometimes we are unwilling to release an energy. And I think this is all coming up at a perfect time. We have the Aquarius full moon coming up. This is being recorded on the 14th day of August, 2024. I believe August 19th is the Aquarius full moon where I live. And this idea of letting go can be really burdensome to some people. Put a really bad taste in the mouth. And so there's this fine line in this card. This is the Star Seeker Tarot. Between seeing something through to the end and carrying on beyond the end. And only you will know that in terms of the question and the situation as it comes up in a reading. The other reason discipline fits in here so well is the Saturnian decan that this is. And I wonder if this could also represent that moment before you come through the eye of the needle. And on these paths, we don't always know where we're going. And yes, we're going home, but that doesn't necessarily mean we will understand the circumstances, what the circumstances will be when we get there. And we're, going home means so many other things. I love this Tildewick Tarot card here because it reminds me of a phrase, chop wood, carry water, chop wood, carry water. And it's the same concept of keep on going, focus on the discipline, not focus on the journey, don't focus on the outcome. Observe the process. This sounds a lot like karma yoga. Karma yoga can be exhausting, but if we observe our response to the duty that we have been assigned, we can grow really, really quickly. And that fits really nicely here too, because fire can move quickly. It can transform exponentially. And I think sometimes people choose to transform through fire because it is such a, oh my goodness, like you can't undo it. You can't undo it. This is the wheel of fire. The wheel is turning. And I always feel like there's a bit of mystery here. And I love what Lisa de Saint Croix did in her 10 of Wands. It's a veil. It's a veil that we have an opportunity to walk through if perspective is right. And by right, I don't mean good or bad. I mean in your highest. In all of the tens, in the idea of the turning of the wheel, in the idea of completion, there is always something to release. There's always something we need to let go of. It could simply be ego. It could be something tangible. But in order to fully feel the effects of this journey through fire, we need to be willing to let it be complete. Perspective. Look at the perspective on all of these cards. This green card here is from the Primordial Tarot, a very powerful, emotionally raw deck. This art brings to mind all kinds of journeys and places. And I love how the human connects with the solidity of the totem on the right. Taking a moment, taking a breath before they carry on. There is no question about carrying on. And when I look at the Vindur Tarot and the way that this is illustrated, this is the feeling. This is the feeling here. So what is it going to take to stand up? To shift perspective? Because things will be different when we get home. They will not be the same as when we left. You are here at a completion, forever transformed. I have a really cool card here for you. I don't think I've shared any cards from this deck. Let me get the box if it's handy. I was just looking for a copyright date. And there's a beautiful quote on the end of the box. My garden forest isn't cultivated. It's not well tended. I don't have the courage to cut that tangle of brambles. I don't want to change anything. This tarot traces a path to the heart hidden in nature, a magical place that could be found in the soul of each of us. Lucia Mattioli. I'm assuming that's the artist. This is the cover, the box cover. And it's a really interesting deck too, because on the other side you see the same image in black and white. So what's the message here? The turtle has moved so slowly that the seeds have rooted in the shell and grown. And on one hand, I can see some pretty dark connotations here, and yet I love the growth, the idea of growth, or perhaps the embracing of nature. Something kind of cool looking at the primordial and the tarot of the secret forest side by side here. And very unusual to have a turtle, a tortoise, in a 10 of fire. But the tortoise, the turtle, has persevered. And perhaps they provide a home for others as well too on their back. I just had to share this card. I think it's really unusual. The way that, if you have a more traditional Waite-Smith kind of illustration, this is the Fyodor Pavlov tarot at the top in the middle. The way that the 10 sticks are carried, I think, says everything. In the Waite-Smith, it's just so very awkward, and perhaps it was drawn to show the number 10 and also to replicate a certain symbolically on the tree of life where we are in the journey. It's possible. But here, it shows strength. To carry the 10 wands in this way shows physical strength. This person is walking, there is movement, you can see one foot in front of the other, and we carry on. And so I feel kind of hopeful in this card. Looks like there are fires burning in the hearth at home. And in the same way, in the Star Seeker here, the way that the sticks are being carried is a little awkward, but yet there's forward motion. And we are very, very close to home. Kind of a tricky path to navigate. And super bad for your physical body carrying the wands this way. So again, perspective. Perspective, in a few different ways in this card, really plays into the interpretation. Okay. The last card that I want to share is from the Light Seers Tarot. And this is a very interesting perspective because I am seeing, I think I saw something similar in, what deck was it? It might have been the Hermit card in another deck, not this one, where we see where the Hermit had come from. And here I'm seeing this person carrying forward and to the right of the card, like they're moving towards us, and we're seeing the path that they have taken. There is wind behind the back I love the way the skirt is blowing forward. So it's like the force of nature. The energy is with them. And they are also sharing the burden with a beast of burden. It's not all on them. So there seems to be a little bit of a greater lesson here. And it would appear as well, too, they have traversed the final hill. They are very close to arriving. And also looking quite energized. So in summary, there's a few things that feel significant that I always want to address in a reading. And most importantly is this question of what's it going to take to see this through? And will you be able to let it go once you do? Or have you been on this hamster wheel for years and years and years? It's kind of a difficult card for some people to swallow. The spiritual purpose here is for our transformation. And when we get to a certain point, we need to let go. We need to move on. Chop wood, carry water, chop wood, carry water, until the lesson is learned and we're ready to move on. And any of these cards that have a breath, the breath of spirit in them just feels so inspiring to me. My top 5 will be primordial for sure. I think this card from the Tarot of the She is pretty an important one. It's quite unique in this regard. And definitely the Tarot of Lisa St. Croix. And then I will choose 2 others. For a traditional card, traditional Waite-Smith image with that idea of strength and fortitude and seeing it through. And I could choose that one or the Light Seers. I feel like they say something similar. I kind of like the Light Seers too, with the wind behind her back. That's pretty powerful. Maybe I'll go with those 5. Unexpected. Most unexpected. All right, top 5 Ten of Wands cards are left to right. Light Seers, Fyodor Pavlov, Tarot de St. Croix, Tarot of the She, and the Primordial Tarot. Yay. Okay, 10 cards done from the 10 of Wands. Tomorrow I will be back with the Page of Wands, which is one of my all-time favorite court cards. I can't wait to talk about that. And so, yeah, I will be doing this Monday to Friday, as long as school is out of session. And then I will adjust the schedule. But yeah, this is actually really fun. If you're interested in working with me more deeply, I do have a sale on right now. And this coupon is valid for any of my tarot courses until the 3rd of September for 25% off any of these classes, which can be done at your own pace. And I'm available to support you throughout any of those courses. So thank you for watching and take good care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Namaste.